Hey colors, welcome to another episode of Coloring Tips and Tricks. This is episode 6. Today we're going to be talking about color, obviously. More specifically, symbolism. It's the first thing that pops in your head as you look at this image right here with the reds and blood and everything. You just think, this guy's in danger. He's not having a good day. One of the reasons for that is like red is just, it's embedded in our minds to mean certain things. And I have a list of different colors that we're going to go through. And trying to think of the proper term. Psychologic in your head. You know, you don't really think about it, but when you see these colors, they just automatically have meaning to you, and everybody has that, and you can use that as you're coloring a page, as you're designing color schemes for characters and stuff like that. In this episode, we're going to be talking about the colors, the meanings that a lot of these colors hold, how they were used in the olden days to create a lot of the color schemes that we're familiar with to this day. That we don't really think about too much, and how they affect us. And I think in the next episode, we'll talk about using the symbolism behind these colors and using it to push the storytelling. So you have that to look forward to. Let me go ahead and close this page up. I'm not saving it. So I set up some basic colors here. To go through as we're talking about the meanings and stuff. These are like the basic ones I wanted to color. These are not in order, of course, but we have like our primary colors and some secondary colors in there as well. And then plus, of course, the white, black, and gray. But we'll just start up at the top with red. When you see the color red, most people pops in mind is passion, love. You can also see like desire. Then on the negative spectrum, you get danger. Obviously, a lot of warning signs. Use red. Fire, violence as well. Red is associated with blood. So next over, we'll have pink. Of course, love again, romance, tenderness, calm. Yellow, there's like sunshine. A lot of, when you're kids, you're coloring the sun, you always do it yellow. So that's ingrained in us early on. It could also go into hope, happiness, joy. And then again on the negative spectrum, dishonesty, illness, a hazard, again, used all the time on warning signs. Wet floor signs as well, easy to see. We'll go over to blue, usually associated with water, and from that, tranquility, peace, trust. It's like color, like the sky. Then on the negative spectrum, could be depression, somebody's feeling blue. Let's see. Next up, purple. I think purple is most associated with it's like royalty, and I think it goes back to long time ago with the kings and queens and the great emperors of China. Purple was an important color to them. So it's royalty, spirituality, enlightenment. I think now it could also symbolize mystery, arrogance on the negative spectrum, and also cruelty. Bruises usually have a purple look to it. Orange, usually warmth, energy, enthusiasm. Green will usually associate with nature. So we got youth, springtime, and then on the negative spectrum, we could go with envy. Is green with envy, jealousy, misfortune. You can also use it to symbolize confusion. Brown, going back to nature again. Earth can be used to symbolize home, comfort. Uh, Gray, I think of gray, I usually think of like rocks or something like that. So it can be used to symbolize something solid, something reliable. But at the same time, it also show old age, as in gray hair. A lot of people have that association with it, or gray just be boring. With white, be purity, simplicity, cleanliness, peace, youth, or even winter. And for black, the last one that we're going to talk about is usually power, formality, or it could be mystery, evil, even, or sadness. So, with those in mind, let's take a look at some. I have a PSD file set up for this. That's how much I was like going through setting this stuff up. So we have a lot of heroes from the golden age of comics, a mixture of DC and Marvel comics. These are ones that we usually grow up with. Most people will be associated with, read when they're kids or whatever. One thing you'll notice about all these characters that we're looking at on the page, they'll all use primary colors, which of course we know are red, blue, and yellow. From that, so we can look at the costumes and say, like, if we look back at what we were talking about before, the symbolism. So you can see, like, for Captain America with the blue, it could be trust, peace, tranquility, and then a little bit of red for the passion, desire that he has. Same thing with Superman. Usually those color schemes, you think of justice, being honorable, and one thing, if you look not only at these characters, but a lot of the other characters from the early days of comic books, you could say, oh, well, they only had so many colors, to print with and stuff like that. And yes, that is true, but at the same time, if you look at the early EC comics, from around maybe like the 70s or whatever, they are still using pretty much the same printing process, but they still had, tons of colors to work from. I don't have any stories to back it up, but I mean, the symbolism is there in the colors, using primary colors for the heroes. And it's like kind of what I'm going back to about the first readability. So you can see these colors on these characters, and because they're primary colors, you're like, oh, they're good guys. And for a lot of the villains, we'll see. Let's go ahead and block out the heroes that we have first, and then we'll talk about them in a second. I'm going to block them out real quick. So see the villains, it's kind of the, they're using the secondary colors, greens, purples, oranges, and it's just like a shorthand that's used to automatically identify, okay, these guys are bad guys. Orange, okay, what's going on there is not, purples, and you can see them in other characters as well, greens and stuff. And then I think the grays and blacks also kind of go in this kind of category as well. And that's why, like, I covered up the heroes before, because even though they're, it's like the Hulk, he'll use like the greens and purples, kind of like the Joker and the Riddler, the Green Goblin are using. But at the same time, it symbolizes something else. So, because the colors can mean a couple different things all at the same time. But you see the Hulk in his own book, and you're not seeing the primary colors in his color scheme, so he's not a hero, but then you're reading it, and he's like, well, he's not a villain either. But I think with that color scheme really works for him, is like, there's some kind of turmoil going on with his character, and I think the same thing goes with Ben Grimm, or the Thing. You know, he has the blue trunks, you know, same as the other members of the Fantastic Four, but yet he's orange. So it kind of clashes with the other characters. So he's in the team, but he has his own turmoil. Batman, you know, using the grays, Punisher with his blacks, and Venom as well. I think like especially in the mid '80s, when we had Watchmen and Dark Knight Returns come out, we see like these anti-heroes or vigilantes, and you see Batman make that darker turn, you know, and you see his blue used to be like a lighter, almost a sky blue. Now it's like this darker navy blue. And for Punisher, instead of gray, you know, it's like this dark navy blue as well. And it just shows, you know, it's not quite as heroic as the other heroes using the primary colors. So it's a fun exercise to go back and look through all the old comics and stuff and see. Of course, now the lines are a lot blurrier. I think since Dark Knight Returns and you know, a lot of the Watchmen and a lot of the other darker comics. It's kind of hard to draw the line between hero and villain at this point. But yeah, I think that about covers it. Everything that I had about the symbolism and stuff like that on the colors. Yeah, that first image that I had up was part of a page. Let me see if I can find it really quickly. Just going on my other monitor real quick. Let me see. What page? Yeah, there we go. This piece here was done by Andres Quesada. He's the artist on Template, a web comic I've been coloring. And I'm going to use a couple pages from that as an example, like I said in the next episode, to kind of go over using these colors and psychologically what we think these colors symbolize and how to help move the story along and kind of subtly hint at what the reader should be feeling at that moment in the scene. But I think that's going to wrap it up for this episode. Hopefully I'll see you soon for the next one. Yeah, that's it. And thank you very much. And if you want to see more of my color work, you can check it out on my DeviantArt page, lummage.deviantart.com. And I'll put up links to Andre's DeviantArt page as well. And yeah, that's going to do it. All right, thanks a lot for watching again, guys, and peace out.